So, who is Mance Rayder? Let's find out together. My name is Johnny Wild, and we are investigating Mance Rayder. Mance Rayder is known as the King Beyond the Wall. What I want to do now is look at descriptions and see if we can learn anything, if we can. Let's start off with his build. Mance Rayder is described as being of average height and slender, though broad in the chest and the shoulders. His facial features: he has a sharp face, shrewd brown eyes, and laughter lines around his mouth. Finally, his hair. His hair is long and brown, but mostly grey. I'll add, personality-wise, he's charismatic, calm, and determined, with strong leadership qualities. We know glamours cannot change the height of a person, as when Mance was glamoured as Rattleshirt, he was seen as taller compared to the true Rattleshirt. So, what can we use here? We can only really use the personality and height, as glamours change how people see you, but you have to act like the person you're glamoured as. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Let me introduce you to our suspects. First of all, we have Prince Rhaegar Targaryen, who disappeared during Robert's Rebellion. And second of all, we have Sir Arthur Dayne, Sword of the Morning, who also seemed to have disappeared during the fight at the Tower of Joy. Now, I want to start off with their personality types and see what we can match to Mance. So Rhaegar Targaryen's personality is described as brooding and depressed, always seeking solitude to think. He was also determined to become a warrior because of the destiny he foreseen for himself. The only bit of evidence we have to match both of them up is the determination. A man like Rhaegar can become a calm and charismatic leader if he got past the brooding, but that's just a theory. Next, we'll look at the height of Rhaegar and match it to Mance. In the books, no height is specified, but it's believed Rhaegar stands at about 6'2" or about 1.8 meters, according to fans, whereas Mance is around 5'11" or 1.803 meters, and was glamoured as Rattleshirt, who was just average height, if not shorter, in the books. The books suggest people noticed the new height of Rattleshirt, aka Mance. Let's have a look at Sir Arthur Dayne. Sir Arthur Dayne's personality is described as consisting of unwavering loyalty, supreme humility, strategic empathy, and a strict adherence to justice overall. These traits could have served him well as Mance to gain the loyalty of the wildlings and unify them. He was also a great leader, as he was called Captain, signifying other Kingsguard saw him as their vice commander. With no official height stated, fans believe he is around 6'4" or 1.93 meters. He is usually compared to knights around 6'4" like Jaime Lannister. Sir Arthur is also described as tall, broader shoulders, and lanky, which means ungracefully tall and thin, which is a build Mance is described as being, more or less. As we compare heights and personalities, only one person seems to stand out right now. But why don't we look at hair colour and see if we can work out any other evidence. Hair colour. Mance is described as having greying brown hair, while Rhaegar has silver blonde or silver white. While Sir Arthur, his hair is debated as being light brown or silver or dark brown. As unlike other houses, there is no uniform hair colour for House Dayne. but that ranges from pale blonde to dark brown to silver due to the genetic diversity. Just like Rhaegar, House Dane can have purple eyes, with 3 Danes being described as having such eyes. But Sir Arthur is said to have dark blue eyes or purple or violet eyes, while Mance is described as having brown eyes. Between hair colour and eye colour, the only person or suspect these pieces of evidence suggest we should point our finger at is Sir Arthur Dane, especially when we add in the height and the personality. But let's have a look at their talents and see if anything changes. Let's have a look at talent. Mance, when he was at Winterfell, showed a talent for the lyre. We know Rhaegar can play the lyre, but as of writing this, Sir Arthur showed no musical talents canonically. But with both Sir Arthur and Rhaegar showing a mutual respect and a fraternal bond, as evidenced by Sir Arthur's decision to defend the Tower of Joy over his Kingsguard oath, I can see Rhaegar showing Sir Arthur how to play some lyre at some point. And we also got to remember, Rhaegar's lyre apparently vanished when Rhaegar died. In other words, if Rhaegar taught Sir Arthur enough of the lyre, he could play the song like a bard. When you mix in the height, the stature, the hair colour and the eye colour, we can only point our finger at Sir Arthur Dane. Even when you include the talent for the lyre for Rhaegar, which canonically Sir Arthur did not have, but could have learned to have. Next, we'll look at any other evidence that could support this theory. Mance wore a cloak everywhere, including Winterfell, repaired with red silk thread from Asshai. And that, as many of you know, is a town of magic of all kinds, where children can't survive, the fish are poisonous, and everyone wears masks. Mance wears this cloak in official capacities or interacting with people. There is a chance the colour isn't random, as currently red is associated with glamours. But if the thread is a glamour, does that make his origins a black brother a lie? As Jorah Mormont was Lord Commander of the Night's Watch during Robert's Rebellion, and he is old enough to know of Sir Arthur and Prince Rhaegar. So is it possible that he tossed the new Mance a black chainmail shirt and a black cloak before they jumped over the wall? Now, this has got to be stated that Jorah Mormont never officially or formally met Prince Rhaegar or Sir Arthur, but they would know of each other through stories told and through feats. And if Mance is Sir Arthur, chances are Ned was responsible for him getting the equipment and through the wall, with the possible intent of unifying the wildlings under one leader and having them prepare for winter, which could have been set up by a possible future Broken Bran or Brandon Rivers, the three-eyed raven. As we know, they can possibly interact with the past via weirwood trees. Now, let's put all this evidence together, shall we? So, who is Mance Rayder? His build only comes closer to Arthur Dane in description, and glamours, as we know, cannot change a person's height, just how someone looks. With the glamour coming from the cloak he wears all the time, and the magic of the glamour coming from the red silk threads from Asshai. So I believe Mance Rayder is Sir Arthur Dane using his cloak as a glamour to change enough of his appearance to matter. If you think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. If you think I'm right, let me know in the comments below. If you got this far, type in the phrase "up Winterfell." We'll see how that goes. But thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. You guys are amazing. True champions of YouTube and of humanity. And with that, I bid you a fair sod off and cheerio.